Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're retackling a Mercedes fault code that can sound pretty scary, but is often more straightforward than you'd think. We're talking about the B1000 fault code, which translates to Control Unit Internal Fault. Seeing internal fault can make your heart sink, but don't panic just yet. We're going to break down what this code really means, what causes it, and most importantly, how to fix Italiano. So, what is the B1000 code? When your Mercedes logs this code, it's telling you that one of its control modules has detected an internal problem. This isn't a code for a faulty sensor or a bad wire somewhere else in the car. It's pointing directly at the module itself. The two most common culprits for a B1000 code are the SAM, which stands for Signal Acquisition and Actuation Module, and the EZS, or Electronic Ignition Switch. Think of these as the car's mini-brains. The SAM modules are basically sophisticated fuse and relay boxers. They control a huge range of functions in your car, from the windshield wipers and lights to the horn and power windows. Mercedes vehicles typically have multiple SAMs, like a front SAM located in the engine bay and a rear SAM in the trunk area. They manage power distribution and read signals from various switches and sensors. The EZS, on the other hand, is the electronic ignition switch, where you insert your key. It is a critical security component that communicates with your key to verify you read the authorized driver before allowing the car to start. It's the gatekeeper for your entire vehicle's electrical system. So, what causes one of these vital modules to fail and trigger a B1000 code? The number one cause, bialungsat, is water damage. SAM modules, especially the front one, are often located in areas susceptible to water ingress, like the plenum chamber below the windshield. Clogged drains can cause water to overflow and seep directly onto the module, shorting out the delicate electronics inside. The same goes for the rear SAM if you have a trunk leak. Another common cause is voltage issues. A dying battery or a failing alternator can create voltage spikes or drops. These control modules are sensitive and require a stable power supply. Unstable voltage can corrupt the module's internal software or even fry its hardware over time, leading to that B1000 internal fault. Sometimes, even jump-starting the car incorrectly can cause a power surge that damages a module. Less common, but still possible, are simple software glitches or corruption. Just like your computer or smartphone, these modules can sometimes develop software bugs that require a reset or a reflash. And finally, there's just plain old component failure due to age and heat cycles. Over many years of service, the electronic components inside can simply wear out. Now, let's talk about symptoms. If a SAM module is failing, you might experience some very strange and seemingly unrelated electrical ground. For example, your turn signals might stop working, but your headlights are fine. Or maybe your power windows won't roll down, but the radio works perfectly. Because the SAM controls so many different things, a failure can manifest in a wide variety of ways, depending on which internal circuit has failed. If the EZS is the problem, the symptoms are usually much more direct and severe. The most common symptom is a no crank, no start situation. You'll put the key in the ignition, turn it, and absolutely nothing happens. You might not even hear the steering lock disengage. This is because the EZS is failing to recognize your key or communicate with the engine control unit to authorize the start sequence. So, how do we diagnose and fix this? First, you need a high-quality scanner that can read Mercedes-specific codes. A generic OBD-II reader won't cut it. You need to see which specific module is reporting the B1000 fault. Once you've identified the module, say it's the front SAM, the first step is a thorough visual inspection. Unplug the battery first. Then, carefully remove the module and look for any signs of corrosion, water stains, or burnt components on the circuit board. If you see that telltale green or white crust of corrosion, you've found your problem. If the module looks clean, the next step is to check the power and ground connections going to it. A poor ground or a corroded power wire can cause voltage drops that mimic an internal fault. Use a multimeter to verify you have good voltage and a solid ground at the module's connector. If the wiring checks out and there's no visible damage, you could try a hard reset by disconnecting the car's battery for about 30 minutes. This can sometimes clear up a software glitch. If that doesn't work, The module might need a software update or reflashing, which typically requires specialized dealer-level tools. But in most cases, especially where water damage is evident, the solution is to replace the module. For a SEM module, you can often buy a used one with the exact same part number and swap it in. For some models, it's a simple plug-and-play affair. For others, it may require some basic coding to tell the car about the new module. However, if the EZS is the faulty module, it's a different story. The EZS is a security part tied to your car's VIN. You cannot just swap in a used one from another car. It won't work. You need to either have your original EZS repaired by a specialized electronics service or purchase a brand new one from Mercedes, which then needs to be programmed to your specific vehicle and keys. This is a much more involved and costly repair. To wrap things up, the B1000 code points to a bad control module, usually ASEM or the EZS. The top causes are water damage and voltage problems. Diagnosis involves scanning to identify the module, inspecting for corrosion, and checking power and grounds. While ASEM can sometimes be a DIY replacement, a faulty EZS is a more complex job requiring professional help due to its security features. I hope this guide helps you demystify the B1000 code. If you've dealt with this before, share your experience in the comments below. It could really help someone else out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more helpful car repair guides. We'll see you in the next one.